Today we'll be installing an internally routed PNW dropper post. In this example, we're going to be installing using a Loam Lever, but have separate videos available for installing our other various lever options, which are available on our website's installation page. First, start by loosening your seat collar bolts and removing your saddle. Next, remove your existing seat post and cable, if applicable. For install with the Loam Lever, open the clamp, slide it around the bar, and drop the through bolt into the hole to keep it in place. You'll notice that the Loam Lever has two bolt positions for attaching the clamp. Choose whichever gives you the desired lever placement for your setup. Now for the fun part, internally routing your dropper cable. As each frame has a different design, we recommend following your frame manufacturer's instructions for routing your internally routed cable. Once the lever is mounted to the handlebar, we'll be measuring our cable length. We found it's easiest to seat the cable housing into the bottom of the dropper without the inner cable installed yet. Push the dropper post into the seat tube to your desired saddle height while pulling cable housing through the front of the frame at the same pace. Be careful as to not pull the housing too quickly, as it will lose connection with the bottom of the dropper and your measurements will then be inaccurate. Remove the end cap of the cable housing by pulling on the cable end. Holding the cable housing to the lever's barrel adjuster, make sure you have enough cable housing to turn your handlebars completely by 90 degrees. This ensures the cable won't be too tight if the bars were to twist during an accident, or so long that they're just sitting there flopping around during your ride. Cut the cable housing at the same spot you held to the lever's barrel adjuster. As they say, measure twice and cut once. Next, you'll be removing the dropper from the frame while pushing the cable housing back through the bike. Insert the inner cable into the housing starting at the dropper post end of the housing. Place the cable end into the bottom of the dropper post. You'll see a slot where you can slide the inner cable through while pivoting so that the cable end sits in the actuator cradle. Next, insert the dropper post back into the seat tube while pulling cable housing through the frame as you did before. Feed the cable through the housing end cap. Feed the cable through the lever's barrel adjuster and seat the housing end cap into place. For the Loam Lever, place the cable on the back side of the Loam Lever into the machine groove. Loosen the cable bolt and place cable into the machine groove. Holding the cable taut and your lever fully extended, tighten the cable bolt. Trim the cable behind the Loam Lever using cable cutters to avoid fraying the cable. Use the barrel adjuster to remove slack from the cable. And place the cable crimp over the end of the cut inner cable and crimp it with pliers. Adjust your saddle so it's centered with the bike frame, and lastly, tighten the saddle clamp bolts to between 8 and 10 Newton meters. Set your dropper to your desired height and tighten the seat collar bolt until it holds the dropper post in place. It's important to follow your frame manufacturer's recommended torque setting for the seat collar, as this varies between manufacturers. With that said, it is